When this woman snapped a photo with a gorilla, she never expected what she saw. Famous gorillas to have ever lived due to her amazing work with Dr. Francine Patterson, who was otherwise known as Penny. Woman who slept with her elephant at night woke up shocked. Then something unbelievable happened. With many of the creatures coming to LIKE sanctuary partially or completely blind from having slingshots aimed at their eyes, when this woman snapped a photo with a gorilla, she never expected what she saw. Hanabiko, who is more fondly known as Coco, was a female western lowland gorilla who was born on July 4, 1971 and who died on June 19, 2018. She was arguably one of the most, if not the most, famous gorillas to have ever lived due to her amazing work with Dr. Francine Patterson, who was otherwise known as Penny. Francine helped teach Coco a variety of amazing skills, the most incredible being American Sign Language, ASL, which allowed the gorilla to communicate with humans like it had never been seen before. Coco's story started in the San Francisco Zoo, where she was born to her biological mother Jacqueline and father Buana. She was the 50th gorilla to be born in captivity and one of the first babies to be fully accepted by her mother. Coco remained with her mother until the age of 1, when she was taken to the zoo's hospital to be treated for a life-threatening illness. At the time, Penny was a graduate student at Stanford University. Upon hearing of the baby ape's condition, she, along with Charles Pasternak, began to care for Coco at the zoo as part of their doctoral research. When Penny first met Coco, she instantly knew that there was something special about this amazing ape. And having grown up wanting to communicate with animals, she asked the zoo if she would be able to try and teach Coco sign language in the hope of finally crossing the boundary between animals and humans. The zoo agreed to loan Penny and Pasternak the baby animal under the condition that they would spend at least 4 years with her. Because of Coco's illness, she had to be separated from her mother, and because of the length of time that the two were apart, the staff feared that Jacqueline would no longer accept her back. Even though Penny was teaching Coco ASL, the zoo still had ownership of the animal and could request her back at any time. Not wanting all of their work to go to waste, Penny decided to set up the Gorilla Foundation, a non-profit organization which she founded in 1976. By doing this, the young scientist was able to raise the money to buy Coco off of the zoo. After purchasing Coco, the foundation moved her into a trailer near Penny's home in Woodside, California, and was able to move Coco into a preserve in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It was here that the gorilla lived most of her 46 years and where Penny, her instructor and caregiver, taught Coco over 1,000 signs of what the scientist called Gorilla Sign Language, GSL. This put Coco's vocabulary at the same level as a 3-year-old human. In contrast to other experiments attempting to teach sign language to other primates, Penny had also simultaneously exposed Coco to spoken English from an early age, and it was reported that the gorilla understood 2,000 words of spoken English in addition to the signs. In an interview at the time, Penny said that Coco liked to use sign language creatively. She occasionally makes up new words, signs, which are amazingly appropriate as she is able to string known words together in novel and meaningful constructions, she confessed. Coco also has a sense of humor and plays word games. Along with her extraordinary abilities to learn sign language, Coco also loved to have pets, one of which was a small kitten which she famously named All Ball and whom she loved very much. She received the animal on her birthday in 1984 from a selection of abandoned kittens. Coco cared for the kitten as if he were a baby gorilla. Researchers said that she tried to nurse All Ball and was very gentle and loving. They believed that Coco's nurturing of the kitten and the skills she gained through playing with dolls would be helpful in Coco's learning how to nurture an offspring, as they had plans to mate her with a male gorilla in the hopes that she would teach their offspring sign language without any interference from humans. Sadly, this did not happen as she died before she became a mother. The amazing gorilla also adored taking photos. Penny first discovered the gorilla's fascination with the camera and photographs when the scientist decided to take a selfie with the animal, directly at the camera as if she knew what it was and how it operated. From that moment on, it seemed as if Penny had unlocked a new interest in Coco. Whenever the scientist had a camera around, the curious gorilla would ask to play with it. One of the very first pictures that Coco snapped was a self-portrait in a mirror. In the picture, Penny can be seen holding a camera on a sort of grip at the bottom, whilst Coco is looking through the eyepiece and pressing the trigger button. This remarkable ability to understand how to use a piece of human technology was only one of the ways that Coco amazed people. The picture itself was featured on the cover of National Geographic's 1978 magazine. Coco was also featured on the cover of National Geographic in 1985 with a picture of her and her kitten, All Ball. Whilst not all of her photos made it into magazines, Coco's love for the camera never stopped. She took many pictures throughout her life at the Gorilla Foundation, including selfies where she would turn the camera around and point the lens at herself before snapping the picture. These incredible photographs helped to show Coco's life as she lived it and give a better insight into the behavior and thoughts of this amazing animal. It is believed that Coco was able to take these pictures of herself and others due to her intelligence. Between 1972 and 1977, the gorilla was administered several infant IQ tests, including the Cattell Infant Intelligence Scale and Form B of the Peabody Picture Vocabulary Test. She achieved scores in the 70 to 90 range, which is what you would expect a human infant that is slow but not intellectually impaired to score. According to Penny, however, it was specious to compare her IQ directly with that of a human infant because gorillas and humans mature at different rates, so using a gorilla's chronological age to compute their IQ results is not very useful when compared to a human score. Even though having an IQ similar to that of a toddler is something that most people might not find that impressive, for a non-human animal to display signs of such intelligence and understanding was remarkable. The research done with Coco led to other scientists questioning how we treat animals such as dogs, cats, and even mice, and whether they were able to feel emotions and understand complex thoughts like the gorilla. Because of how remarkable Coco was, she soon had a variety of famous friends who all wanted to interact with her. Throughout her lifetime, she met celebrities such as Fred Rogers, Betty White, William Shatner, Flea, Leonardo DiCaprio, Peter Gabriel, Sting, and most famously of all, Robin Williams. The pair met in 2001 at the Gorilla Foundation in California and appeared to hit it off straight away. Robin had attended the foundation to take part in a campaign to raise awareness of the dangers wild gorillas face due to poaching. When he came across the famous gorilla, they immediately formed a bond and began to communicate using the sign language Coco had been taught. Penny said in an interview about the two that Coco instantly connected with Robin. Coco, like us, can sense a person's nature, and in this case, she was quickly drawn to Robin's warm heart. Robin was equally impressed with Coco, saying at the time that meeting Coco was unforgettable. Robin went on to become an honorary co-chair of the Gorilla Foundation's campaign to create the Maui Ape Preserve. Eventually, in 2018, at the age of 46, Coco passed away peacefully in her sleep. The Gorilla Foundation said that she had died of natural causes. She was showing age-related ailments, slowing down, losing her appetite. Fortunately, she passed away peacefully in her sleep, Chief Operating Officer of the Gorilla Foundation at the time. And whilst it is a sad thing to have happened, Coco helped teach the world an incredible amount about her species and helped to highlight this woman who slept with her elephant at night woke up shocked. Then something unbelievable happened. Elephants are the largest land animals and one of the most majestic creatures on the planet. But sadly, they are also one of the most endangered species. Hunted for the ivory that their tusks are made out of, there are less than 3,000 specimens left in the wild. That's why people like Sangduen Chailert are trying their very best to save and help these amazing animals by rescuing them and rehabilitating them so that hopefully one day they can be reintroduced to the wild. ЛIKE is the founder of the Elephant Nature Park, which is situated in Chiang Mai in Thailand. She first put up the sanctuary back in 1996 and has devoted her life to rescuing and helping as many elephants as she can. Since the sanctuary first opened, she has rescued over 200 of these incredible beasts and rehabilitated them back to health. Many of them arrive here like a zombie. Some of them arrive here and they don't know they are elephants. They stand still. They walk in a circle, ЛIKE said in an interview about her work in rescuing the elephants. ЛIKE first got into helping these endangered animals when she was a young woman. She had been walking through the jungle close to her home one day when she suddenly heard an incredibly pained and heartbreaking sound. She followed the noise, curious as to what it could be, until she stumbled upon a sight that broke her heart. In front of her was an elephant with chains around its ankles and neck, being forced to haul logs through the jungle. Not only was the logging operation illegal itself, as the person was deforesting a protected area, but the treatment of the elephant was incredibly cruel. From that moment on, ЛИКЕ vowed to herself that she would help these innocent creatures in any way that she could. The elephants that she rescues usually arrive at the sanctuary with some kind of severe psychological trauma due to how terrible they have been treated in their life so far. Many of them are malnourished and have physical ailments ranging from landmine wounds, which have been known to take part of the animal's legs before, to broken hips and legs caused by the illegal logging industry. Not only are the elephants used for work though, but they are sadly still used as entertainment in some places as well, with many of the creatures coming to ЛИКЕ's sanctuary partially or completely blind from having slingshots aimed at their eyes or being in the bright lights of a circus. We have to first heal them. We have to heal them with love, ЛИКЕ explained. We have to let nature rehabilitate them. We have to make them feel that this is a safe place for them. Trust is the first thing that we have to go and do. In order to make the elephants feel safe and relaxed, one of the rules of the sanctuary is that there are no tricks, rides, or elephant-made paintings done at the sanctuary. Unlike other organizations, which will sometimes use these tactics to try and generate a bit of income from tourists to keep their sanctuaries going, ЛИКЕ instead invites tourists to feed, bathe, and walk side by side with the world's largest land animal. If we don't change our attitude from this time, we can't expect the next generation to learn and to stay peaceful with other beings on this planet. ЛИКE's affection for all of the elephants that she has saved and her ability to connect with them has earned her the title of Thailand's Elephant Whisperer. I never think that an elephant is an animal. I think they are a person. So that is why when I talk to them, I treat them like my family, said ЛИКЕ. We understand each other, even if we speak a different language, but we understand each other, and there is always an elephant by her side, whether that be with its long trunk wrapped around ЛИКE's petite figure or sleeping by her side at night. Like with most sanctuaries, ЛИКE's main goal is to rehabilitate the elephants that she rescues until they are deemed healthy and strong enough to survive on their own in the wild. ЛИКE hopes that by doing this, she can increase the number of wild elephants that roam the jungles of Thailand and its neighboring countries. When one day they start rolling in the mud, they start to enjoy trumpeting, swimming in the river, and that is the day I have a tear. I have a tear of joy, she said in an interview. However, like with lots of rescued animals, not all of them are able to be released back to the wild. This could be because of their past trauma, any life-altering injuries they have sustained, or simply because they were so young when they were rescued that they don't know how to survive in the wild by themselves. But any that aren't able to be released are more than welcome to stay at the sanctuary, where ЛИКЕ looks after them as if they were her own children. As a matter of fact, a lot of elephants that get brought to her sanctuary are very young. This is because loggers often find it easier to separate the babies from their mothers and raise them into becoming the work animals that they want. Therefore, when ЛИКЕ receives baby elephants, she has a very special way of helping them feel safe at the sanctuary. Instead of leaving them alone at night to deal with the scary new environment that many of the young animals have found themselves in, ЛИКE will happily grab a blanket and a pillow and settle down on the floor to sleep next to the baby elephants. By doing this, she provides comfort to the creatures, which they desperately need. However, she isn't alone when she does this, as her husband often stays with her to make sure that she is safe throughout the night as well. One night, ЛИКЕ settled down to sleep with the newest arrival to the sanctuary, a baby elephant who she named Fifi. But as the woman settled down to go to sleep, she was suddenly surprised as Fifi walked over to her to try and cuddle up next to her. Smiling at the situation, ЛИКЕ simply got up from her makeshift bed and encouraged the baby to lie down next to her. However, the next day when ЛИКE woke up, she was shocked to see what had happened. A few feet away, her husband had set up his own makeshift bed to get some sleep, but it was who he was sharing his bed with that truly shocked ЛИКE. Lying right next to her husband was Fifi. Apparently, the young elephant had decided that she preferred to sleep next to the man for the night, feeling safer in his presence. This had never happened before, and ЛИКＥ didn't know what to make of it. Finding the situation so adorable, she decided to take a picture on her phone of her husband and the elephant cuddling with one another. The woman even took a video of the elephant resting its head on some of ЛИКE's husband's pillows. Once they were both comfortable, ЛИКE's husband pulled the blanket over the both of them and happily got back to sleep. ЛИКE was really moved by the interaction between the two species. It seemed that she was not the only parental figure in the place in the end. After the first initial night, something unbelievable started to happen. Fifi would run over to ЛИКE's husband any time that he was around. As well as that, the young elephant would sleep with nobody else except him. ЛИКE was bewildered at this strange turn of events, but was happy that the young elephant had found comfort in someone. Gradually, Fifi grew out of her attachment to ЛИКE's husband as she got older. However, she would still happily greet him from time to time when he popped by to say hello. It's thanks to people like ЛИКE and her husband, though, that amazing animals like these are given a fighting chance to survive. If you want to know more, you can head on over to the Elephant Nature Park website to see how you could help these beautiful beasts. What an incredible story! Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible tales. And if you can't wait until then, you can head on over to my channel to find even more amazing stories.